Hey everyone, March Jig8 here, bringing you a brand new album review. Today we're going to be reviewing of Mice and Men's latest album, Cold World. And man, this album is a doozy. It's strange, it's unique, it's unlike anything we've ever really heard before from of Mice and Men. And as soon as I heard it, I knew that it was going to create a huge rift amongst the fan base. You're going to have that one side that's going to be like, well, it's absolutely perfect, and if you don't support it, then you're not a true fan, which is absolute bullshit. And then you're going to have that other side, which is just going to be like, oh, well, it sounds like complete dog shit. Which, to those people, I always urge you guys not to just post that. If you're going to be critical about something and say it sounds like shit, at least give me a couple extra minutes and explain why. This way, it gives somebody else a better understanding of your viewpoint and where you're coming from, and it might even change their own. Plus, if you have reasonings behind why you don't like something, it usually deters a lot of the naysayers. Not all of them, but generally most of them. But the internet is a paradox of the beauty of freedom of speech being ugly, and you are 100% free to say as you choose. Let's get into the review. So, why is this album causing as much of a stir in the community as it is? Well, it's because it's an incredibly light album for Mice and Men and what people are used to them putting out. I mean, there are a couple of heavy songs on it, like Pain and The Lie, but for the most part, it has lighter beats and almost no unclean vocals. Back when I reviewed Restoring Force, I criticized that for being as light as it was, and now looking at Cold World and seeing how light it is, makes me start to think that maybe Austin Carlisle just can't handle those screams as well as he did back on Second and Sebring in The Flood anymore. I mean, he did have throat surgery, so that could definitely play a factor into it, plus there is also his health issues. Or, hopefully, maybe Mice and Men just naturally wanted to shift their music direction in this area. And damn, this album isn't afraid to experiment with that formula a bit. The band dips its toes into this 90s nu metal genre mix, with songs like Contagious having a Deftones vibe to it, The Lie having vocals that remind me very much of Jonathan Davis of Korn, and Pain, which is by far the heaviest song on the album, which has this very Slipknot-esque rhythm to it. There's also Relentless, but let's put that one aside for now. We'll talk about that one in a bit. There are also some pretty deep songs in this album as well. Some of the deepest songs I've seen from Mice and Men since Second and Sebring. Real is a very heartfelt and a very personal song. If anyone remembers, Casey Kalunga, the girl that I think had cancer, it's been a while since I reported on the story, so forgive me if I'm mistaken on that. But anyways, they brought her into the studio to listen to the album first before anyone else, and then added the sound of her clapping to one of the songs. Well, Real is the song that is dedicated to her, and it does a fantastic job of that. It is a very beautiful song, and probably one of the best on the album. So, this album does take some notes from the best of the nu metal genre, but it apparently took some notes from some of the not so trendy ones. Mainly the ones that incorporated more of the rap element, like Limp Bizkit. And what we ended up with is Relentless. I don't want to say that this song is annoying because that doesn't really help people understand where I'm coming from, but it's annoying looking at how well Mice and Men has done over the years with crafting their music, both in terms of sonic and lyric, and then looking at Relentless and seeing how forced and cheesy it is, seeing them bluntly infuse rap elements into the music. But that might also be the point to it. It might just be a novelty song to them. Either way around, it's definitely not a song that I'll ever take seriously. There are also a number of songs on this album that I just felt were forgettable, like they didn't have that punch in them that I've seen on previous albums, either sonically or lyrically. Plus the vocals weren't that great at times too. They were scratchy at times and cringy. It just didn't work well with the song. There were some pretty good songs in this album, but for the most part, there really didn't seem to be a balance between the heavy and the lighter sides of the band anymore. And I can understand why fans are turned off by that. Me personally, I like some of the songs, but even looking back at Restoring Force, which had some songs on it that blew this one straight out of the water, I can't help but feel disappointed knowing of Mice and Men's full potential kind of went to waste here. So, for my final score, I give of Mice and Men's Cold Water a 5 out of 10. And the only reason why I'm not giving it a lower score is because it had those strong songs on it. Had they not been there, this album would have just straight dropped to like a 3 or a 4. But, like always, these are just the opinions of one guy on the internet with the mighty powers of a PlayStation 4, a YouTube channel, and a passion for music. If you agree or disagree with them, please feel free to share your thoughts down below. If you like what you saw and you want to leave a like before you go, it will always be greatly appreciated. And if you want to see more of these reviews in the future or just want to join the team, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all on the next one. Mars out.
You'll have that. Ooh, 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 ooh.